Wherever you're at in this world, listen to this podcast. If you're not in Arizona, you can go to nationalrea.org, and right in the front page, you'll say find a REIA, and you can, there's a licensed one in every city and state practically. So, awesome, cool. So you came.
Yeah, I came.
Awesome.
I came. I went to the beginners group.
Okay.
It was the one on 24th Street down there.
Was I hosting it at the time?
I was. And that's when I was like, all these people were talking about house hacking, and that's when they started mentioning all of these things I had never heard of before.
You're like, wait.
I had just my notebook. I was just writing everything down, like, okay, this, what? And then Mike, you asked everyone, why are you here? I want a fourplex. That's all I could say was, I want a fourplex. And so, but when I started listening to all these other strategies, I was like, well, people were saying, oh, I want to learn how to get something with no money down. I was like, what? No money down? I had never heard those concepts. So to hear it, me, I'm just like, I'm good at school. So I was back there like, okay, I want to read about this stuff. And then with YouTube University, you can watch a video about any of it. So I went home. So I thought, well, maybe I don't need a realtor. Maybe I'll try and wholesale up multifamily. That was even worse. Because it's hard to find one, So, and I was like, oh, driving around. I got a notebook. I started driving around the city and looking for property. So I was writing addresses down, going to the county, Maricopa County, looking up the address, looking up the owner, looking up the phone number, then calling the phone number. And then I was doing that for each one. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just need to find a realtor because I need to get this property. And this is taking too long, So that's why I went back to focusing on using a realtor to help me.
Well, a good thing was, you was focused on what you needed to do and what you was trying to accomplish, which was, I want a fourplex.
Right.
You could have went to that beginners group and said, all right, I'm a wholesale, or I'm going to go to flipping, or I'm going to do private lending, something like that, but you knew I want a fourplex. So to everybody that's listening, kind of take that from Michaela. When you know what you want, just stick to that, and you will be successful and you will accomplish that. So you ended up, tell us how you ended up getting that fourplex.
Well, like Julian said, he said, go to the REIA and look around for the realtors because he said they're there. So that's what I did. I actually went to Mike. I said, hey, I'm looking for a fourplex. Do you know any real estate agents?
Then he knew a good one.
Shameless plug.
And that's how I found Dominique. It was like, oh, my wife is a realtor. I was like, oh, okay. So, and then I had to ask her my questions because Julian gave us questions. He said, is this realtor investor friendly? That's when I first heard the concept of an investor friendly realtor. And so when I was listening, she was like, oh, yeah, we have these properties. We do this. She's done flips. I was like, oh, so this is the person, this is what he said I'm supposed to find.
Right.
And I found it, and so I was like, okay, so that's when she's, created a portal for me. I told her what I wanted and, just coming to the meeting, just listening, and then she introduced me to some lenders. I found lenders because I was still putting it out there. I was calling people, do you have any lenders? Do you know anybody who's a lender? People was giving me names of lenders. And then something I noticed was if they didn't respond, I didn't keep working with them.
Yeah.
So like if I sent all of my paperwork in and it was like a week later, I'm like, okay, am I approved? And I know I had good credit. Like at that time, my credit score was over 800. So I had no debt. I just had money saved. I was ready to get this property. So I was like sitting here like, what's going on? What's my rate? What's my rate?
Right.
And so I was asking all of these questions, and if they didn't respond quickly, I just said, well, forget you. I'm going to the next one. So that's what happened a lot with the realtors, with the lenders. And then with the realtors.
So you had